The United States is tracking warlike announcements by Iran's regime that it deployed two military ships to Brazil that are also headed for the Panama Canal, where Tehran declared it will establish a military presence. A U.S. State Department spokesperson told Fox News Digital on Tuesday that we are aware of these claims by Iran's Navy. We continue to monitor Iran's attempts to have a military presence in the Western Hemisphere. The Iranian regime-controlled news outlet the Tehran Times reported Saturday that Iran's 86th Flotilla warships is now sailing along the western shores of Latin America, the Navy's second-in-command said. Fox News Digital learned on Tuesday from a Western security source that Iranian warships have not yet docked in Brazil. And Senator Marco Rubio told Fox News Digital in a statement that Iran's growing presence in the Western Hemisphere should come as no surprise, as the Biden administration has a history of appeasement and engaging with authoritarian regimes. Tehran's ability to expand its military presence in our hemisphere should be a warning sign, especially as it seeks to support the left-wing Marxist regimes that will undermine peace and stability throughout the region. And also, Representative Maria Salazar, Florida, told Fox News Digital Iran has been aggressively strengthening its ties to the Western Hemisphere through like-minded socialist regimes in Venezuela, Nicaragua, and Cuba. And they're also looking for opportunities elsewhere. And it's no coincidence that Iranian ships are docking in Brazil just a month after a socialist retook power in the country. So we'll keep you updated on these developments coming from Fox News Digital, foxnews.com.
Shalom. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who will teach well over the hopeful lake, who have 100% truth through the spirit and power Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Kakwadash. Alright. Peace and blessings to the 144, the house of David, the 1/3. Alright. That's been scattered throughout the planet Earth. Pushing this truth. Tune into this truth with all truth and sincerity. Shalom. Now this is breaking news from the past week. Iran, not just Iran, but Russia and North Korea and China are getting ready to invade the U.S. coming up from Central and South America. And this is biblical prophecy that the U.S. will be invaded and be spoiled. And Russia has the U.S. surrounded on all four sides. Russia has their nuclear submarines on the west coast, the east coast, and up in the North Pole. And Russia has their warships on the west coast. China has their warships on the west coast. And China and Russia, Iran, and North Korea's military is in Central and South America. So Babylon the Great is surrounded on all four sides. And I seen a video of some proud Edomite saying, "Well, oh, the U.S. Here's the reason why the U.S. will never be invaded." Like, get out of here, man. It's pretty obvious. You have to be a fool or just overdosed on pride, on American Babylonian pride, to not see the setup. It's plain. There's no reason. Okay, there's only one reason why Iran and all these other countries that clearly have a disdain toward the U.S. are bringing in their military might closer to the U.S., to Babylon. There's only one reason, and the U.S. will be invaded and spoiled, and then the final send-off will be those nuclear weapons. Now let's go to the book of First Thessalonians chapter 5. This is First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So that what that's alluding to is that once all hell breaks loose, once Yahushua returns, it's not going to be like you got a fair warning 10 seconds before 10 days before. That fair warning is knowing prophecy. And the only people that truly know prophecies is the hopeful elect. This is verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So when a thief comes in your house, the thief doesn't flash a light up in your house or calls your phone and be like, hey, I'm finna rob your house at midnight. You know? Verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, all right, Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, said they're gonna declare the pandemic ends in what is it, May 11th or whatever. It's probably one of their high days. Who knows? For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So all this that's coming down a pipe, these people are delusional. They're not going to see it coming. Verse 6. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. You see, people don't really think. People will know this is happening, but they're asleep, so they don't care because they're brainwashed. You know, the Most High has given them up into Esau, Edom's hands, and they're not gonna break out of it, so to speak, unless the Most High allows it, or they just die, give up the ghost. And I'm talking about our people mainly. All right, now let's go to Jeremiah 51 and in verse 1. Thus said Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And that destroying wind is that nuclear hellfire. And will send unto Babylon fanners, and they shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. So all these nations are going to jump the United States of America. And this is the reason why this place will be destroyed. Verse 5. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power of Yahweh of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. So guess what? For the wickedness you've done to the Israelites, you're gonna pay for that. Because whoever touches the Israel touches the apple of the Most High's eye. All right, roughly paraphrasing. So this is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 12. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, the elements, all right, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And that's talking about what's going to be this hellfire in Babylon the Great, all right, and wherever else those nuclear missiles land, because it's going to completely devour the earth, so to speak, not literally with fire, but the earth will be facing that destruction. The earth will reel to and fro like a drunkard. Let's get that. Because when the nukes land, it's gonna be so many nukes that is gonna shake the earth. All right, and islands, the islands of the earth will be moved from these nukes dropping. So there's nowhere to run. All right, nowhere to hide. Only people that's gonna escape fully is the elect. Isaiah 24 and 20. The earth, or I should say, people that are alive. Isaiah 24 and 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Let's go up a little bit more. All right, just so you can get the full understanding. This is verse 19. The earth is utterly broken down, and the earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. Okay, and that's talking about those nukes, which is what 2 Peter chapter 3 was going into, and Isaiah the 24th chapter as well. But let's go to Ezekiel 38. It's just gonna be quick, straight to the point. It's Ezekiel 38. in verse 8. And pretty much Ezekiel 38 is talking about Russia, which are Edomites, but they're in the land of Gog and Magog. That's the land that the Russians inhabit. All right. And all these, Russia is going to be the spearhead pretty much of all these nations to invade the U.S. and nuke the U.S. And this is what Ezekiel 38 is going into. And now I'm going to start at verse 8. After many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword. All right, and that's talking about Babylon the Great, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. All right, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Okay, so Russia is going to come after the small hats, and he's going to come, and they're, well, not just Russia, all these nations are going to come after the small hats in our land and Babylon the Great. Verse 9, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. So the Most High is gonna put it on the minds of these kings to lay waste to Babylon the Great. Let's get some scriptures on that. Get up Proverbs 21st chapter. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. And you go into that word heart, all right? It's talking about your mind. Let's get it. Inner man, mind, will, heart, understanding. So that evil thought that's going to be in the minds of these kings, all right, when they get that okie doke for the destruction, is the Most High doing that. You don't have free will. Nobody has free will, man. But the Most High himself. Everybody else doesn't have free will, man. You do what the Most High tells you to do, whether you know it or not, man. Now let's get verse 11. Now here's the main point right here. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, having neither bars nor gates. All right, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. All right, so that's talking about Babylon the Great. Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish, with all the young lions thereof, shall say unto thee, art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil? So Russia and the rest of these nations are gonna rob, are gonna pillage Babylon the Great, and then nuke it. It's gonna get wiped clean. And guess what? All those things that these heathens are gonna take from Babylon the Great is gonna be taken right up out of their hands, man. Okay, right up out of their hands. We're gonna take what's ours, because all the whole everything in this earth is ours. Even these heathens, they're our possessions. Let's get Isaiah the 60th chapter. So really, they're taking a spoil just so we can have it, pretty much, so it doesn't get burnt up by them nukes, man. This Isaiah the 60th chapter, and let's see. Isaiah 60:16. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings. What does that mean? Taking their nourishment, taking what's sacred from them, all right, which is what their resources. And thou shalt know that I, Yahweh, am the Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. All right, for brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver. Okay, so we're gonna take all the resources of these nations because there really are resources. All right, we're not like Esau. Okay, that's just stealing. You know what I mean? It's ours to begin with because the earth was made for the Israelites. It wasn't made for ants. It wasn't made, so to speak. It was made for Israel. The earth was made for Israel. And all of this that you see happening is a setup for the destruction of Babylon the Great and Esau's rulership being thrown down. I think Isaiah 47. Before I get that, let's get a second Esdras 6, maybe 56. Start there. Let's see. This is second Esdras chapter 6 and verse 56. And as for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spirits, to Salakia, unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And that was I think that's also stated in was it Isaiah 40, I think too. Let me double check. Yeah, Isaiah 40 and 15 says the same thing pretty much, all right? And so you heathens are nothing, man. All right? Compared to the Israelites. Verse 7. And now, O Yahweh, behold, these heathen which have been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. So the Israelites have been devoured by an inferior force because we broke the law, statutes, commandments. All right. But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. Because it was stated this would happen if we broke the commandments, all right, which is all according to plan, man. It wasn't no accident that everything's happened. It's all, you know, um, one of the elders was saying how everything was set up so we know good from wrong, which was also in the scriptures as well. I don't think he was quoting that. I think he just said it, which lines up with the scriptures. Um, with the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. Let's get it. This is Genesis 3 and 5. For the Most High doeth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. All right, which was true, which was 100% true, right? That statement. This is verse 22. And Yahweh thy power said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. All right. Verse 59, this is the point. If the world now be made for our sakes, all right, so the world was made for Israel, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? So Israel never truly been on top for the most part. I think, we had King Solomon for a point in time and King David for a point in time, and that's pretty much it. Even when Yahweh Shah was on the scene, we didn't have no foothold, so to speak, on the earth. Let's get that too. Yahweh Shah said that himself. So Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have always been the underdogs, man. Nobody has truly seen us as a threat unless the Most High is with us. This is John 18 and 36. Yahweh Shah answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that it should not be delivered to the Jews, but now is my kingdom not from hence. So we're not we don't have an inheritance here yet. Our inheritance will be the kingdom of heaven, which will last forever. All right, it's not going to be no going off and you lose power and you get conquered. No, man, we're going to be on top forever. So the pros extremely exponentially weigh out the cons, and we don't even know everything that we're going to receive from the Most High. We don't even know everything, man. What the Most High has in store for us, because we're chosen, and these heathens are mad that we're waking up to who we are, especially these Edomites that stole our heritage. Let's get First Corinthians. It's First Corinthians 2 and this First Corinthians 2 and 9. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of a man of neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High have prepared for them that love Him. Salakia. So everything that has happened, currently happening now, and will happen in the future, is all to the build up to this scripture right here. For the most part, man, or the kingdom of heaven. Everything is just a build up of prophecy being fulfilled until we get our rulership. And of course, in the midst of this evil, this chaos, we will need some form of spiritual power, some divine intervention, um, in order to survive, because we have no power, man. These heathens have been um, building up their military for centuries, especially Esau. You see how Esau is going right now with these robots, and who knows what else those Russian Edomites got in store. And Iran, I think they just said Iran just got nuclear capabilities or whatever, man. So yeah, that's it for this lesson. Lord willing, was edifying. Shalom.